Recently I've received a few questions from people on myversacam.com via email in the chat session about having difficulty understanding how to add a media profile for a specific type of substrate you're going to print onto into VersaWorks so you get the best print possible. With VersaWorks open here, we're going to open up the Media Explorer and we'll take a look at that real quick, and you can see the list of all the different profiles that are loaded into VersaWorks. And you notice on two of them here, the little eyeball icon is turned off. That's to demonstrate to you that you can have profiles either turned on or turned off. They're still loaded into VersaWorks, but when you go into your settings for a print job and you're selecting the profile that you're going to print with, you wouldn't see these as options on there. So it's kind of a way to declutter what's going on with some of your profiles so that you still have them available if you need to go back to them, but you don't fill it up. So here's where you would see the list, but we would want to add right here, load from file, but first we have to get that file from whatever website we're going to. So on this we're going to hit cancel, and we're going to bring up our Internet Explorer. And I have it open to myversacam.com. It's actually Flock is what I'm using instead of Internet Explorer. But on myversacam.com, you can go to the download section, and we don't have all the profiles yet, but I've got a couple of them here. Like I've got a VP unit, so I'm going to download the VP Solutions Clear so that I can use that for clear, AirTuck, puff, printable, etc. So we would click on that one there, and it should come up, and I want to save this file. It's a zipped file, so I'm going to have to uncompress it once I've saved it. I'll hit OK, and it has saved that for me. So I'll double click on this, and I need to resize this window so you guys can see it properly. And in here I can see in my downloads VP Solutions Clear right here. Now I would need to extract all the content, so I right clicked on that and I'll hit extract all. And what that does is that unzips a folder for us. And we're going to put it into my download section, VP Solutions Clear. And I don't need it to show me the extracted files. I could, but we don't need to see those extracted files when we're complete because we just need to know where they're at. So we'll hit extract, and it should have added a VP Solutions Clear right there folder now that's not a compressed folder. You can see down here these ones where they're zipped up. They've got a little zipper icon on them. Those are the compressed folders. And you can see earlier I did the Solutions Opaque one here, and then I did a VersaWorks for the Oracal 3165, which I'll show you how I found that one and got the correct profile for it. So I'll close these two out. What I did for the Oracal, and this works for a lot of different manufacturers. Say you're using Oracal, Avery, 3M, doesn't matter which material you're using, but if you're looking for specific profiles, I simply put in Oracal profiles into my search engine. The first website that came up was Oracal USA, support for ICC profiles. So I'll go to that website, and right here it asks me to input what type of printer I'm using. I'm using a Versacam VP540. So I'll go to Versacam VP540. Ask me what type of RIP. I'm using VersaWorks as my RIP software. And the ink we're using is EcoSol Max. So once I click on that, it'll give a second and look at all these profiles that popped up for all their different materials. I'm using the Orajat 3165 RA. So I'd click on download there, and again it would save that file, this Versacam VP540 VersaWorks Orajat 3165 EcoSol Max 720 by 720 DPI profile. And that's the one I want. I'd hit save. I've already got that in the folder. I saved it earlier, so I don't need to do that right now. And I would go to the folder and do the same thing I did with the one from Imprintables for the opaque solutions. I would unzip the folder. So once I've got those all saved, in VersaWorks now I can add both of those media profiles. So I'll go to my Media Explorer again, and I'll open that up. And now I'm going to load them from file, because I've already saved them onto my computer. So I can go into my download section. I can see the folders here. The first one we'll do is the Oracal one. So I'll double click on that, open up the folder, and there it is, the VersaCAM VP540 VersaWorks OrJet 3165. It's a Roland Media Library file, and I'll click on open, and it'll take it a second to process, and there's the media that I want to import. So I'll hit OK on that one, and these are profiles that are installed. Click yes, and it puts it in there for me. Now if I go to the bottom, that's where it always default puts the new ones. I can see it right here. Now some people, myself included, would say that's somewhat hard to remember that that's a profile by looking at all that verbiage that they have under there. So there's a way that I can create a copy and rename it so that it's easier for me to remember. So I can go up here and I can copy that media, and I want to name it something else. So what I'll do is I'll change all that there. 3165RA, and I'll click on OK. And if I go to the bottom here, now I have that Oracal 3165RA, much easier to remember exactly what it is. Now I don't need both of these in here. It's the same exact profile. It'll do the same thing. If we click on both of them, you see it's got all the color limits, the total ink, the printer profile that it comes from. Everything is the same in here. So for this one here, I'm just going to get rid of it because I don't need it in here twice. So I'll get rid of it, delete that media, and then if I go to the bottom, I see that I've got my Oracal 3165. It's got all the settings that I need that were defined by the manufacturer when they created this. So it'll give me a really beautiful prints on that material because I'm using the right temperature, the right ink limits, and everything for it that I need. We still have that clear solution, so I'm going to go load that one. I need to go back a few to my downloads. Here's my VP Solutions Clear, so I'll double click on that, and there's that Solutions Clear profile. Roll a media file, so I'll hit open. Solutions Clear, that's the one I wanted. Hit OK, and right now if I go scroll to the bottom of this, I can see Solutions Clear. I've got all my ink limits, Stall Solutions Clear, VP. It says 300, it works for the 540 also, but this is the profile that I wanted. So I've loaded these two profiles in here, so I'm very happy with what I've got, and I want to save. So I click on OK, and it's asking me, do I want to keep the changes that I've made here and apply that to everything that's in the queues. You could either say no, and then you could have to go back and change what you've done here, cancel, which would also take you back, or say yes, which I want to. I want to apply the changes. So I say yes to it. And now I've got a job here right there, our C-Class logo wear and promotions logo, that I want to make some decals out of. But I'm going to use the Oracal 3165 for my decal material. So I can now double click on this guy, and I get into my job settings, and if I go over to my quality tab and pick the media type that I'm going to print on, you'll be able to see down here at the bottom, Oracal 3165. So I'd click on that, and I know it's going to do all the correct temperature and print profile settings that I want for that specific media, so I'm going to get a much better print. And that's how you do it. So if you have any questions or would like some clarification on it, please make sure to contact me through myversacam.com. Again, I'm Steven Jackson, and thanks for watching my video.